Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Topic today is why do people cheat? Now, often there's with the issue of cheating in relationships, it's 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 always been very sometimes it's been always been a touchy subject really because there are different opinions and views on why people do what they do, but it's always been controversial. So today, we since some week before we kind of looked at cheating for men and women. Today we're now looking at why people cheat and possibly look at how it can be stopped if it can be stopped. So over to you guys. Thompson, you want to start? Why do you think people cheat? Because you don't you have been doing push-ups for this conversation.
No, I will wait. Let me be mannered
this discussion came about when we had the men versus women cheating conversation, and the question, I think the issue arose: who cheats more, men or women? And some people say, well, it depends because in terms of the actual, first of all, it depends on what you define as cheating, right? If you talk emotional cheating, then you could say that maybe women cheat more. If you talk of the actual act, then that's another thing. And but we ended up saying some said more men cheat more, some said women cheat more, others said it's more 50-50. So we said, well, first of all, let's look at the reasons why people cheat, and then maybe that would kind of give us a little idea of who cheats more if we are still bothered about answering that question. So over to the house. Let's hear you. Goldie, first of all, Goldie she just mentioned that Nigeria matter, they make neck pinner. All of us, Nigerians included. It's not just you. Well, let's hear from the house on the topic for today. Tamara, do you have anything to say? Ambrose, it's your first time. Welcome to. I'm very happy. No, it's actually second time. The last time people say you had a meeting, but we're very happy to have you. Right, on this topic, let's hear do you have anything to say? Oh my God, oh my God. Ambrose.
Actually dropped a bomb on the group on the chat.
That's why I went, oh my God. If you are not, please check the chat. Just see what Ambrose. Now, on this issue of paternity test, I think there was a guy who was opening a new DNA lab in Lagos. And he then said to promote his DNA lab, he said he was going to do, I think 70% off for paternity tests. And since then, this guy received death threats from women, he said. And they had other people saying, do you want to destroy marriages and relationships and all these things? And so you start to think, so how many children are in households where the father thinks they're the fathers and they are clearly mistaken? But that is down to, I think, but the issue is, Ambrose, the issue is why? So it's not about paternity tests. The thing is also both men and women. It's not just one-sided. For the DNA test thing, I think women are guilty of that one. There's no debate. If a man has been told that he's the father of a child, whereas the woman knows, and I think at some point even the ladies in the house said a woman always knows.
Isn't that the men that are getting them pregnant? Some of the men are married men.
Well, is that Goldie? But the thing is, though, the issue is this. On the paternity test part, the thing is, if you tell a man, there's no way the man would know if it's his child or not. It's only the woman that will know. But you understand? But I was like, this is a lot of marriages in Nigeria on undergoing separation process. They are scared of going for divorce for cultural sake. That is true, but I think that's a whole cultural. I think we'll come back to that. That's a whole different matter. But first, let's look at why people cheat. Why do you think men or women or partners cheat in relationships?
Let me start, since nobody wants to talk. I can speak for women. I think women, they cheat merely because of emotional balance, like they need
Emotional needs.
Yeah, they need something emotionally. So for women that have maybe been neglected by their spouse or their relationship, the other person, so they tend to go out to find it outside. And also, I would say maybe distance is another factor why women cheat. You know, there's limits where you can actually keep yourself. I was discussing with my husband some days, I think it was yesterday or the day before, because we're not together currently. So I was telling him, I'm not going to cheat, but I would like to think that the limit for somebody is 3 years. We see a lot of couples, they are living apart. So what do you expect? Someone who is sexually active, I think it's just a matter of time for the person to stay sincere to the partner. So I'm just speaking for the women. I don't know.
You are saying it's more of emotional need as well as distance. So basically distance, but be firewood. Now, Amber, you put a comment, and as you have said, let me look at it. It's a lot of neglect or pleasure. Now, Amber, those are two different things. Neglect is on one side, pleasure could be for the sake of it, right? So can you explain why you think, and who does it? You think men or women or just people do that for both reasons?
Most times the women feel neglected.
Okay.
The woman is feeling neglected. She might go out, and some other women on the other side, they just feel men are doing it, so why don't I do it?
Equality.
For the men, I think that one is a curse on men. It's not about neglect. It's not about neglect. It's just pleasure for men.
Well, I think sometimes it's more than that. But I think generally, I think we talked about this, that they say that men cheat with their bodies, women cheat with their minds, which means that a man can cheat just because he can get away with it. It's not because he doesn't love his partner. Women, once they
it's not cheating. It's not cheating, whether with your body or with your mind. It's all cheating.
Absolutely. But we're trying to say, you said, it's for pleasure. For men, it's for pleasure. And
can I say something?
Sometimes it's not necessarily, but I think it's for both. That applies for both. Now, who else wants to join the conversation? Thompson, your hand is up. Let's go.
As for that pleasure, I want to disagree, because a man can be on top of a woman while his heart is somewhere else.
That's pleasure now.
It's not the pleasure.
But still having pleasure now.
All right, sir.
Is it pain? One is on top.
Listen, women, there are way a man enjoys.
What is he doing on top?
Wait, listen. Wait, let me be honest.
He's not on top. He's climbing staircase.
You will understand this. A man is not moved by the actual act. A man is moved by what he's thinking. A man can be on top of a woman. He will be thinking negative. All his system will die off.
Then why is he on top of the woman? That's what we're asking. Why?
Okay, why he is on top of the woman? Maybe a situation that he needs to do. He needs to do it for the doing sake. I'm coming. And also,
pleasure.
It is not the man is actually not getting that pleasure he needs at that moment. He is just doing it to fulfill his own duty.
Okay, many men cheat just to fulfill their own duty. Okay.
No, I did not say it is an art. What about a man that, have you seen some men? Many men cheat with a very worst, ugly woman. Oh, their wife is more prettier than the woman they are cheating with.
Yeah, but the question is, why do they cheat? You're not answering the question.
See, they cheat. Wait, listen, they cheat because of one. some men are actually not the cause. They are just a karma to the woman. Many women have been dating married men while they were teenagers. When they marry, that karma will fall on their husband to also cheat with a girl just to get back at the women. Many men are just a device of a karma on these girls of these days.
Okay, thank you. Now, Isaac has his hand up. Isaac, do you want to?
Yeah, I don't know why my video keeps going off. I did a little research on this before today, and
Isaac.
I was able to list out some reasons why I think people cheat. And first of it all is anger or revenge. That is maybe when you're frustrated with your partner, or your partner has cheated and you want to pay back so that he or she can feel that same wrath you felt. And another thing is falling out of love, because it's not easy to start it. And if you notice, in this part of Africa, they tell you, I know if you just eat only one soup, egusi every day. No, I need to change a bowl of vegetable. There are varieties. So that is another reason. And another thing is situational factors and opportunity. Sometimes some people, like someone said earlier, distance can be a barrier when your partner is not there, and some things might lead to you doing that thing, maybe going for a house party, or maybe you get to be with the opposite sex in a place where nobody is, and you have this binge drinking. Maybe you are drinking and one thing leads to the other. Then another thing is commitment issues. A lot of us as men, it's hard for us to commit ourselves in relationship, because it depends on your idea of what you want in that relationship. Is it long-term relationship or a casual one, or you just want to have this how do I even call it, just this quick relationship with this person, like one night stand. So commitment is another thing. Then sexual desire. Some people, their libido is very high, that one person cannot even satisfy them. They want to get to different places just to know how it is. Then unmet needs. Someone to it's also, and that sexual desire and unmet needs, they kind of correlate, because some people, their partner, it's not actually good in bed. They call them indomie men. So maybe just like 1 minute or so, and you don't want that. You don't enjoy it. You want something long lasting, something that will make you climax, something that will make you feel like, yeah, you've done something. And another thing is low self-esteem. Some people, that low self-esteem affects them a lot, because they want to boost themselves. They want to be seen as someone that is appreciated in the society. They want to see that, oh, when I have sex with this person, I become empowered. It gives positive feelings, yes, that because their partner, they don't support them, they don't make them feel that they are doing well. So these are some of the reasons I was able to list out during my research, and I hope it made a lot of sense, or any sense at all.
Thank you very much, Isaac. That was really good. But the thing is, it's not just men who or people who cheat on the opposite sex, or who are with, it could even be same-sex partners, right? Cheating is cheating, even in same-sex relationships. And then we talked about commitment issues, and you said men. Now, even commitment issues, I think it's not just men who have it. It goes both ways. But now, I think you're right. When you talk of unmet needs, there's this psychologist called Spirit, actually. She's on YouTube, Spirit, and she talks about the circle in a square. So you have two people in a relationship. One of them is a circle, and the other is a square. And then the circle fits perfectly into the square, which means that the needs of the circle is all fulfilled. Do you understand? But if you draw a circle in a square, what happens is, what you find that in this square, there are edges, because the circle has everything inside the square. There are edges of the square that is not covered, right? Now, those edges are those unmet needs Isaac talked about. And so it could be like you said, the difference in libidos. It could be just that, you know, the other person is just not pulling their weight in the sense of meeting the needs of the other person, whereas they have everything good. Right? And so that's a very good point, Isaac. Now, I think we have a few comments on the chat as well. Let me pick them out. So now, okay, right. First of all, Ambrose has said that some men see cheating as a hobby, especially at the place of work. Okay, Ambrose, you would have to expatiate on that one. Now, Thompson has also said that a woman who in her teenage years was dating married men, all because of her needs, so a man dates married men. Now, such people would have a taste of pain. Okay, so basically, you're saying that it could be karma. But again, karma is something that I don't know if it's within control or beyond, but I think cheating is a bit deeper than that. It's more within your control, I believe. Anyway, well, true, like Ambrose has also said that a young lady starts work and then the men are in the queue just to mess with her, essentially, okay? Now, but Thompson also said you still have a choice to make, okay? Now, Sharon has said people cheat when their needs are unmet. It could be emotional, it could be spiritual, it could be physical, and it could be intellectual. Now, first of all, Ambrose, I want you to explain about this hobby, and then I'm going to come to Sharon we've talked about this unmet needs, and then I want you to, Sharon, if you can explain the spiritual, the physical, and the other needs that are being unmet, and then we'll go to Golden. Golden's hand is up. Ambrose, are you able to talk to explain?
Yeah. I know some men that it has nothing to do with spirituality or anything. They tell you that, oh, their family, they are so happy with their families. They do video calls with their families every day. They call their wife in the office. They even give their wife the video call to speak with the lady, their next target. So you see that they are good in what they are doing. I give you an example. I just recruited somebody and I told the person, these are the rules. When you come on board, play safe. We have so many vultures around. Just relax, learn this job and do it well. And in the next 1 week, I went to the person, I said, I'm here for assessment. How has it been? And the person is telling me, what you said was true. These guys, they're on a queue. As this one is leaving my office, the other one is entering. As this one is leaving, another one is entering. You know? And they do this to almost all the ladies that are coming on board. And the ladies that easily fall prey to these things are those ones that when the guys come to you and tell you, hey, babe, I'm hungry. And the girl goes home and say, okay, I want to make something for this guy. The day you cook for that guy, that is the genesis of the problem. They will enter you. As they are entering you, they are entering another lady. So for me, it's an hobby to them because they have their wife, they have their children at home. It's a hobby.
Ambrose, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, go on. So for you, what you're saying is it's like games to most of these guys. But another thing you just mentioned that I will just quickly point out is you said that the day that a lady would cook or just because the guy said he's hungry. But is that not that the lady is just being kind and the guy is just abusing her kindness?
The lady is just being kind.
Yeah.
But they take advantage of this situation.
Yeah,
and you know the painful thing is, the painful part is, it is not just single ladies. They do it to married women too. They do it to married women too.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can have such men, or you have them everywhere. But the thing is, it takes two to tango. right? So the question is, why are these married women, or first of all, why are these men doing this? The men in relationship, why are they doing this? Looking for women to hunt down. Number one, number two, or people of, or it could be the same sex, just looking for people outside of their marriage or relationship to hunt down. Number one, number two. Then on the other side, the not the single ladies now, the married women, for example, or the other women or other partners in relationships who then fall for this. The question is, why are they falling for it? Because once they fall for it, they are effectively cheating. Something will come to you. Now, Sharon, you mentioned something about unmet needs in terms of both spiritual, emotional, physical, and intellectual. Sharon, do you want to say something on that one? Looks like we've lost Sharon. But I think what Sharon is saying is, apart from that, first of all, with physically, there has to be attraction. And once you start, which means that I think every partner in a relationship has to do their part to work hard on themselves. You can't say because you're in a relationship, you're just going to let yourself, go fat, don't take care of yourself. You start to look like a sack of potato. Nobody wants that. That's on the physical side. Spiritual, you want to make sure that you connect with whatever your beliefs are, whatever and whatever you call God to you, right? Both of you have to connect. And then I think more importantly is the emotional and intellectual. I have a friend who after a while she was seeing this guy, and within the first 3 months, it was there. And after 3 months, everything went silent. Auntie, what's going on? And she then said, "Oh, I stopped because we were not connecting intellectually." I said, "Well, did you not work that out within the first, few weeks of meeting them? Could you not, But again, that's what she found out later. But for her, that was quite important, that there's this intellectual connection. And once it's not met, people either choose to stay or they walk away. Now we have two hands up. Golden, and after Golden, Thompson. Golden, let's hear you.
Thank you. So I think another reason why people cheat is lack of respect. A man who respects his wife, or a woman who respects her husband, you kind of want to also take that to the people that you have contact with, because the main thing is you're sleeping with someone who you have contact with. So if you're having respect for your spouse, it will reflect. And also you have to respect yourself. Like you see yourself unclean, even sleeping with somebody. So not talk of somebody who is not your spouse. So if you respect, I'm on a call. I love you too. If you lack respect for yourself, you can easily fall a prey cheating. Then another point I would like to also say is that the way we call norm in Nigeria, the things we see as norm, it has contributed to why people cheat, especially the guys. It's kind of no big deal. In the past, the men were marrying 3-4 wives. So it's the same thing that has lingered on, but in a modernized way, that you can sleep with all the girls in your area or everybody you're working with. So it's kind of normal. Then the last point I would also like to say is that medically, some people have problems controlling their sex drive. It can be psychiatry, it can be psychological, but medically there's kind of a reason why some people, they can't just control themselves. Though in that case, they need to seek medical treatment, but we should not ignore that part that some people are actually sick. So they tend to, try to have sex all the time with whoever is available.
Nymphomaniacs, you mean?
Kind of, yeah. The same way people just steal, they can't control themselves from stealing.
Kleptomaniac. Yeah. But the interesting thing is what you said was, you started with, sometimes it's cultural. But I think I don't know. When we looked at who is the prize, and sometimes we're talking about monogamy. So some weeks ago we talked about monogamy, and I showed us a video where a lady was saying that monogamy was not natural. So is it possible that this phenomenon of being, the argument was the fact that men are by nature hunters, number one, and men are by nature designed to spread their seeds, while women are by nature are more sedentary and more, accepting and welcoming. And so if you look at it in that aspect, just talking from on men's side, and you think it could be biological. That's one. Then we talk about respect. I also read somewhere, what was it? I can't remember if it was a podcast I was watching, and they talked about cheating respectfully. And someone said, is it even possible to cheat respectfully? But that's the whole topic for a different day. Now, because you talked about respect, Golden. So it's then, what's respect and what's disrespect? That's but why should I respect someone, for example, like just an example now, why should you respect someone who's not very bothered about your needs? Because we keep going back to these needs being unmet, which is, I think, is a big reason why people tend to step out.
Then in that case, you respect yourself and walk out of the relationship.
What respect yourself? Respecting yourself or appreciating yourself is having to be with someone other than your partner who you find attractive or who gives you a certain kind of, we could argue that way, who gives you a certain kind of happiness. Do you understand? So we can't, what's respect? Who defines respect? Did you see? Do you see? Now, Thompson, your hand is up. Let's hear you.
The fact of this matter is that I like giving a true life testimony.
Always wonder.
Yes, I have a friend. He's a pastor. He's in Nigeria. Then he was dating his girlfriend. He was not a pastor. They were in Uniben. They were dating. He was the one that actually disflowered this girl. Along the line, God called me. He changed. There were no, you understand now, they stopped for a very long time. Finally, they graduated. The guy married the girl. Lo and behold, he got to a point. The guy was like, man, I want to quit my marriage. We were like, what's the problem? He said it's either he quits or he looks for another woman. That out of the 6 years of their marriage, he has only slept with the wife 6 times.
On every year, Christmas.
He said inside these 6 times, he had to rape the woman. He said he has been keeping it that the family, everybody, they are praying for fruit of the womb. It's not prayer. They don't make up. That he does not know the problem of the woman. When they were dating from the beginning, anytime he had this intercourse with the woman, she always feels sick or she have this severe pain. She was complaining that it's because he has not married her. That is why she has not really. This one is a true life story. The person lives very close to my friend here, this Golden. But I'm not going to mention the name so she will not.
No, don't mention names. You can't mention names. We can mention
like, he said, okay,
real life situations, but no names.
He felt like, okay, maybe because I've not married this girl, that is why this girl, she's not giving it to me freely. After a very long time, they abstained from sex when the guy got his call into the pastoral unit. After this problem came up, now he's ashamed to tell the family this is the problem. He's ashamed to go into a relationship. This kind of man, if this man is being caught with another woman, nobody will understand the situation of this man, the situation that is going in the family. Everybody will just call it a cheat without hearing his own side of the story. That is point one. I want all of us to think about that. What are we going to call that situation? And also, Oga, what's his name? Is he Ambrose? Ambrose made a statement about his office and the married men. The truth is that the society presently, we don't know who is married and who is not married. The married women don't even respect themselves. The way they come out, the way they dress, the way they talk, everything about them does not define they are married. These days, most. So I keep telling everybody, if you want to buy cheap things, know the kind of supermarket you go. The way they design supermarket, you will know if your money will buy things there or not. The way a woman presents herself will determine how a man will approach her. There are some women, you can't even near them if you are not packaged. That is how to a woman. So women are so loud. Any little thing, they just put their mouth, start laughing. Guys know how to psych women to know if this woman is loose or if she's tight. As a married woman, there is nothing responsible about you these days. Guys will always come for you. The way you dress is the way people will address you. Married women these days don't know how to respect their what will I put it? Their status. They are even, that is it.
Thank you very much, Thompson. Blessing, before we come to you. Now, I just want to pick on 2 points. Now, you know the one you mentioned about the man being, you know, it could also be the other way around. I've also seen people, I've met people who in fact, the husband turns out to be gay, and they didn't even know they were married to a gay man, right? No, and so the women are pretty much begging this man. Now, such a woman, if she steps out, would you blame her? Again, I think it boils down to these needs being unmet. And then number 2, the other point you raised was on people dressing the way they should be addressed. Now, first of all, this cheating takes 2. It takes 2 to tango, right? But so if you say men are approaching the married woman, it still depends on the married woman or man on how they respond. They still have the reserve to say no if they don't want to. But the thing is this: first of all, if they are dressing a certain kind of way, which I would imagine is for attention, why are they doing it? Do you understand? Why are they dressing for attention? And number 2, if they don't go ahead and follow through, and you say, oh, the men approach them and then they, like it takes 2 to tango, and then they fall for it, why are they falling for it?
God bless you.
We cannot, I know, but we cannot at this. We can't say because it's okay because, you know, this thing, it was in South Africa some years ago, they would say, oh, there's a high rate of rape. And someone came out and said, well, we blame the women. Why are they wearing short skirts? Are you kidding me? So because a lady wears a mini skirt, that's automatic invitation for rape. Do you understand what I mean? So I don't think that the dressing should, if a woman dressing or a man dresses in a way that's uncomfortable, just turn your eyes and look the other way. I'm just talking generally. So that's no excuse or doesn't justify cheating, or the other person has to step out. That doesn't, if they're going to do it, they will do it anyway, whether someone else is walking around naked or not. Now, Blessing has her hand up. Blessing, let's hear you.
Okay, you answered most of all I want to talk about. So, well, I will just comment on what Thompson said about his pastor friend marrying a virgin, doing stuff. At least he is virgin the girl before he got married to her. So I would say it's not the girl's fault, but the pastor's fault. Go for what you know is good for you. At least you know that there was already a fault before you married her. So I don't think that is a cry for help, something now.
No, hold on. Hold on. What's the fault that she was a virgin, or because she was a virgin? I'm very confused.
Yeah, I mean, no, they'll say, like I said earlier one time when we were conversing, when I say, test your
test drive the car before you buy.
But the man actually tested. So let's assume he didn't test all the virgin and find out that there was a problem. That is a different case. We understand that, yes, so let's reason with this man. But he actually test drive it, this virgin, and find out there was a problem, but still, he still went ahead and married her. Most marriages, most women, most men, they undergo this stuff. They know that their partner or their girlfriend, their boyfriend, have a fault, but still on the long run, because they cannot do without this person or because of some certain reasons, they will still go ahead and marry themselves. At the end of the day, they want to break up.
But Thompson, I think Blessing is making a valid point here. Sometimes we walk into certain things with our eyes open.
Exactly.
Like, Thompson wants to respond.
What I want to say to her, you should remember from the beginning, we are all talking. I remember the previous conversation we discussed something like this, almost test running. I remember she made comment like that. What about if the man leave at that point? You will say this man has used me and dumped me.
Well, fair point.
That is the truth. Many excuse me. Do you know that the truth is that yeah, a lot of women always criticize men when they live in a relationship. But they don't know that if many men start speaking out in what they see in a relationship, many women will have their self to checkmate. The truth is that men are very, they keep things to themselves. They don't want people to feel they are weak. Me, I was dating a girl that had vaginal odor. I dated this girl. Sorry to say, I dated her for 3 years. Her dad was an ex-pilot in this deadbeat line. But I tried to treat that girl due to pride. This girl was like, "What the hell? What the hell?" I left that girl. That girl got married. Brothers, you must test women before you marry. I'm telling you the truth. This brother did not test that girl. After they did,
okay, something. Hold on. Your friend that tested his own is still having issues. Whether you test or not, issues will come.
But it's better. There is a saying that
you
says
understand? I also have a friend that got married to a woman that does not last in bed. Today they are married, have one kid. Before they got married, I asked him, "Are you ready for this person?" Now he's complaining that I want to marry another wife. 20-something years, another wife. So it's not about just men. Women do this mistake too.
In that situation, did they just hold on? Did they discover that he had the problem after 20-something years?
No, what I mean. The guy is just 20-something years, like let's say 29 years, and he's thinking of a second wife.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. And before he married the woman, he knows that the woman, whenever he wants to sleep with her, she will only, when they were dating, she will only say, "I'm tired, I'm tired." So I want to kill the man. Conversation. Now he's saying the woman is still the same. I said, see, you know that she was still like, you still went ahead to marry her. Then why? Now you are complaining, telling everybody this. I will not blame her. Every man, if you know you are good in bed, look for a woman that you are good in bed.
Blessing is making a valid point. You saw this and you went in. So this is why I think Blessing is making a valid point. So people cheat, because what you're saying, Blessing, is people cheat for what they already know. You understand?
Yes.
They already know, and it was a fault, but they went ahead. And then, so now they're complaining and say they want to cheat. I think I kind of agree.
So when they cheat, they will say, "It's my wife or it's my husband." There's a reason.
Right. Blessing, thank you. We'll come back. Isaac's hand is up. Isaac, let's hear you.
Yes, I agree to what they are saying too. But one thing about me, I'll use myself as a case study. One thing about me is I'm a very sensitive person when it comes to sex. So that this connection in relationship can lead to cheating, because your relationship becomes predictable. You know, this is okay. If we want to make out, this is how she's going to lie down. This is how it's going to be. Like Mr. Thompson said, that vaginal odor, it's a no for me, because it will now be living rent free in my head. Anytime that I want to make out with you, that I would just be imagining that odor, and due to my sensitive nature, I won't be even erected. I will just, because I'm feeling it. And if I try to tell you, you don't want to work on it, seriously, I will leave you. So if that disconnection is the major thing, because you now know your partner, the same bed, the same room, the same position, the same sex life, the same thing, and sometimes the women too, they don't even make you feel aroused with what they wear. Some of them, like, they'll just be using wrappers at home or wearing these big things, like something not even attractive. You are not moved by that. As a man, there are a lot of things that makes us get aroused, sexually aroused to our women. It might not just be the looks. So a lot of things. So this connection is one thing. That is one part.
Do you know that those women, they don't want to take correction?
They don't.
Most of them are not ready.
Right. Okay. Well, listen. Let me respond to this. For the ladies, now we are talking about the women, but the men. Do you know how many of you have six-pack here? Do you think the women? Don't? No, hold on. Do you think the women don't like the men with six-pack? No, Thompson. Before you interrupt, do you think the women don't like the men with six-pack?
No, this back is not beautiful.
Wait now.
I did not stop my waist. It does not stop my waist. It does not stop my waist. It's the waist that is the work.
Okay, hold on now. But Thompson, when a man has a pottery that he can't even see what's down there. He can't see his head there. You think that's not a problem. You think it's the waist. That's number one. Number two, how many men these days keep fit? Because even with the sex, right? To satisfy your partner, we keep talking about the women don't keep us arose. But the men, how many of them keep fit to last longer in bed to satisfy the women?
Okay.
No, Thompson.
Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question?
Go on.
How many women can survive? You tell a woman, stay on top of me and survive 5 minutes. All they do is to lie down like log of. See, sex is one of the greatest exercise men go through every day.
That's the woman you have met or something.
Too many
That
they cannot do anything. They will just look like trailer that park in one garage.
If they have you extra weight, you still have to.
Right, listen. Right, okay. Now listen. What we're essentially saying is that it's a two-way street, right? And so it's not just, we can't just, what are the men doing to be, so, but the important point here is the fact that partners should make an effort even within the relationship. See, we are saying, oh, the women are tired apart, they did this, they did that. But the thing is, we tend to be blaming one side, right? What now we are here saying, oh, the women don't, but even the men, how enticing are you to your partner, right? Why would they want to listen? Why would they want to sleep with you if you are sweaty, your balls are sweaty and smelly, you've not had a shower, you come to bed. And then you are talking of they are on top of you. They cannot do 2 minutes. Why can't you be on top of them and last 10 minutes or 20 minutes? No, let's be fair. No, let's be fair.
There is no man. I'm still saying it. All those 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm the regular sex rate. Normally, I know the normal sex rate. How will you be expecting me to be on top of you? Distance from here to Berlin is how many hours? I will be on top of you for 8 hours. Am I doing Olympic? Is it really?
How do you do 5 hours?
For waiting. I'm just being honest. Do you know that it's not easy for a man to be? Do you know how many men are suffering from stroke? How many women don't die on top of man? No woman has died. But do you know how many men are dying on top of women?
Listen. I think
what they are taking
they don't take anything. Our blood is drying.
Can we all be quiet for a minute? I'm just going to read out what Goldie wrote. Now, I think one thing that we all tend to agree on is unmet needs. That is why people cheat, right? It could be physical, it could be intellectual, it's unmet needs, right? And I think also what I've just realized is that people, whether men or women, cheat for the same reasons. Pretty much the same reason. Whether it's lack of attraction, differences in sex drive, just generally needs not being met. And then what Goldie has also said was a lot of relationships would benefit from counseling, but again, that's after the fact. The topic today is why do people cheat? Now, and not a lot of reasons can be sorted out. Like Goldie has gone on to say that all these reasons can be fixed, even the medical ones. Now, not all reasons can be fixed. Now, it says you can teach your spouse how to dress the way you like after marriage. Okay, you tell the partner how I like you to dress, and you know, okay. And then be patient with teaching your spouse and significant other. But the thing is, you can only teach someone who's ready to learn. That's number one. But also, there are many things that you cannot teach. People. For example, you cannot teach someone equal sexual drive. You can't teach that. If they have a low sex drive that doesn't match, you can't teach that. That's number one. Number two, you cannot teach someone, if let's say you are very ambitious, the other person is not ambitious, and you want someone who's ambitious, you can't teach that. There's many things that you cannot teach. For example, there are certain needs, like even the intellectual. You cannot teach someone to be intelligent. If I'm trying to use the word, if they're mentally behind, or like one of my friends would say, if they're low gifted, then they are low gifted. You can't help that. No matter what except they want you. So so a lot of reasons cannot be fixed. Now, Isaac, your hand is up. Isaac, let's hear you.
Yes, I want to say this. First, what is the approved time for sexual relationship? What is the approved time? And another thing, like how long? Another thing that I know we men are not good at is foreplay. Most men are not good at it. They just want to have
I
sex.
am perfect at it. I am good at it. It's not men. It's some.
Some men, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some men are not good at it. You don't. Some men don't ask their women places that they like to be touched, that they like to be aroused, that makes them okay.
We are focusing. Can we stop missing the point? We are focusing on just the sexual part and the lack of sexual satisfaction. Now, the topic today again is why people cheat, and it is we agree that the sex is it's a very, very big part of it. But it's not all there is. It's not all about it, right? And then there's another point Isaac you just raised. Just remind me again, the first point. What was that again?
Just now?
Yeah.
Like the approved time for your sexual.
Yeah, that one. Now that one they will have to, I don't know, have the House of Assembly, prime ministers and presidents worldwide meet to discuss the approved time that men are allowed to be on top. And after that, you know that you have met the approved requirement, and then you can come down. And then the woman cannot cheat on you because you have met the approved 2 minutes or however long that they decide on. But I think that's on a more serious note. I think on dealing with that, I think it's more, it depends on the couple. It's more you and your partner. So it depends on what works for both of you. And in fact, that's a good point you brought up, because for some people, you can love people, you can be with them, but you are not sexually compatible.
Sure.
Sexual compatibility is a whole different thing, right? You can meet people and you click, everything works, but sexually you just not, and it's not your fault. And golden again, you cannot fix that. You understand? So you can meet people that like you both of you together can be there 1 hour, right? You will both keep going. But then you can meet other people that you can't even, in fact, you get angry after 2 minutes, you just want to sleep. Or you just don't even, you get angry instead of being relaxed, right? Yes, exactly just what I said, that you can be with someone and everything is great, but you do not, again, but that's still unmet needs. It goes back to these unmet needs. And I think that is the very core of why people cheat, unmet needs. Now, Friday, Moyaki has his hand up. Moyaki, let's hear you. You are muted. Unmute yourself. Friday, can you unmute us? Let me unmute you if you. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, go on. We can hear you now.
Yeah. I said, for example, to me, I had the girl then that we had sex for some minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't even up to 20 minutes though. Then she said, "Why will I cheat on you? What do I need again?" Yeah. It was a very, very big point to me. I asked myself, what did I do to you? That you say, what do you need again? Why will I cheat? She not say, no, you touched me the way I needed a man to touch me.
Yeah.
So I don't have a reason to cheat. I believe you can still do it again and again and again and again. So I was very happy that she came back that day. She got me a gift. That
means you did a good job. But
yeah, I did a good job. So I believe if you know what your woman wants, and also if you meet her at the right time, not all the time is the right time though. I believe you get to live in a harmony, you get to be happy, nobody will hear your voice when it comes to that.
But that's why we say that people have to be compatible when it comes to that aspect. But some people, they're just not. It's again, we talk about differences in sex drive. It's just how it is. You can't force that. But I think like Blessing have said, you have to know this before you get into a committed relationship with them. If you know
Yeah.
that will not work for you, then you start to go your separate ways even before anything starts to get serious.
Yeah, the issue is that you know, we all matured here, and we advise each and every one of us that is there that when you meet again for the first time, you get to tell her this. You guys need to discuss all these things. It's very, very important. It's not that you just come, you just feel like, oh, let me be a good guy all the time. No, you can just talk about your sex life. How do you like your sex?
Yeah, but
Do you like it? Do you like it this way?
But Mayaki, the problem with that is this: people can lie. Let me tell you what I mean. Now, people can tell you what they think that you want to hear. Oh, I'm like this. Oh, yes, I like this. And that's not how they are. That's not who they are. That's number one.
Exactly.
And number two, we have seen, especially when it comes, both sexes, right? Those who brag the most, empty versus the same makes the loudest. Now, you know when you see men that will say, I will shift your womb, I will do this. If I touch you, you will divide into two. They don't even last 2 seconds. We know this. No,
and you blame it on Bonvita.
No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with women as well. You have all these girls who will bump and grind, and a lot of guys will go, "Oh my God, she's so hot. You're so lucky. I bet she's killing it." And you will get to the bedroom, she's just, she's just not that way inclined, or she's not very adventurous. So when it comes to talk, I think it's more vibing, and I think it's one of those things where you just have to experience it. And unfortunately, sometimes most people get into serious committed relationships before they start to find these things out. So it's not. So it's that you can talk all day long, but I think it's still all about, you have to experience it, but it's not just sex, like we said. But that seems to be a very big thing in why people cheat. And again, Thompson has also said an issue. Thompson said in the chat that only someone who wants to be kept will be kept, no matter what you do, even if you give them your head. If a man or woman wants to be kept, they will be kept. They don't want to be, they would not. That's number one. Number two, he also said that if you start to talk about sex with some women or some people, they start to think that that's what it's all about, But then it's not. But it's not just. Let's not just make it all about sex. It's more than that. But I think one thing I have really gathered from today is unmet needs. It could be physical, it could be intellectual, it could be emotional. Unmet needs. That is why people cheat. Now, Tamara had her hand up. Tamara, let's hear you. I thought Tamara, blessing, and then we'll round up. We are long over time.
Let me just add up to what you said. It's like, everybody was just focusing on the sex. I think it's not just sex alone. It could be anything. It could just be one minute thing that could actually cause. It could just be that somebody just wants attention from the other partner or whatever. It could just be anything, but not just the sex alone. So I don't think it should center it based on just sex.
Yeah, but I think it still comes to this thing of unmet needs not being met. Let's hear you. Finally round up.
Yeah, just like you guys said, it's not just all about sex, because there are so many little things, but the important, every little thing most times cause problem for the people to cheat here and there. But the important thing also is communication. Your partner should know this is where they are going on. This is where they are going, because that is why you guys are partners. If you cannot communicate, then there's no reason for you to be in that relationship or marriage.
So, but again, if it comes down communicating to unmet needs, and Golden has added that some people do it for monetary gains. Again, the money could be the unmet need. So it's still going back to that unmet needs, and so to the best way to kind of fix cheating in relationship is to make sure that needs from both sides are met. Thompson has his hand up. Thompson, let's hear you before we finally round up.
I believe she said there is no reason to cheat, whether small or big, because one, that is why you have mouth. and that is why your spouse have ears. You guys have any problem, no matter what, there is no problem without solution. If you say because this I cheat, you cheated because you want to cheat. So when Blessing said communication, she said everything. There is no big or small cheat. Oh God, you cheat, sister, you cheat. Case closed. Whether small reason or big reason, you have committed the act. You have committed it.
Right. With the age of social media, like Gordon said, it's harder and harder. But I don't think it's that hard with social media, to be honest. But that's by the way. Now I want to go back to Thompson's point that you have mouth and they have ears. Thompson, have you ever seen met people that you talk to? It's like you are talking to a wall. You can talk and talk and talk. It goes in one ear, comes out of the other. There's no improvement. It's two things. Either they choose not to listen or communicate or understand or compromise with you, or they just simply do not understand what you are communicating with them.
That is the fact. Since we have been discussing, we fail to address the prime seed of cheating. Cheating is a spiritual seed. Everything we are seeing, there are some persons that they just need deliverance. We have been taking away the spirituality of a human life. There are some persons, the only thing that will stop them from cheating is deliverance. Even so, that those people, their ears are already blocked. He said to them, their path that they have chosen is the righteous one. It's the fun of it that they are doing it. So I believe. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we are here.
A call came in. So I just believe, stop this. I believe the fact is just the spirituality. They need to go for deliverance.
Well, that's a whole different. That one is for the pastors and the spiritual leaders.
And they accept it.
But now,
okay, you see, we don't accept it.
Isaac has just commented on the chat to say that sometimes it's a kind of bravado for men to say, "Oh, I slept with this girl," and or sometimes it's even games. But I think Ambush mentioned that earlier. Look, I want to say thank you to everyone again. I think, but like I say, the long and short I got from this, and I think everyone pretty much got from this topic for today, why people cheat, is unmet needs. Now, some of them can be fixed. Now, some cannot be fixed. So, but it doesn't mean that when you say people have a reason for it, that does not justify it. It doesn't make it good. But it's just saying that, there's no reason. For me, no reason is good or bad. The reason is a reason. There's no, who are you to say if it's good or bad? The reason is a reason for something. So I want to thank everyone again, and it's been great. Now, next week's topic is men versus women value. Now, we know that as men get older, their value increases as with money, and as they get older, they become more attractive. Whereas for women, they say the value goes down. So again, that's what we'll be discussing next week. So I want to thank everybody for coming again. As always, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, Real Views 2021.